hear about this, they're not going to make the rapture. So what happens? We read in Acts chapter 7 and 8. He hadn't had his name conversion yet. Saul of Tarsus comes and he's bringing persecution to the church so fiercely and ferociously. He's locking people up. They're killing Christians. Let there never be a day. I pray there's never a day in our great country and the persecution that's coming against the churches and the word. Can I tell you, you know who had the first great revival in Samaria? Was Philip. You know he wasn't a licensed minister with the UPCI. I hate to break somebody's theology up there. Amen. He wasn't a card-carrying member. He didn't have that little icon, that little clergy icon on his donkey cart. Amen. He was a layman, but he had a heart for God. And he said, if persecution is going to come in the region, I'm going to take this message out into the uttermost parts of the world. I'm going to preach it. I'm going to teach it. And he ran into an Ethiopian eunuch, and he began to win him to the Lord. And I believe that eunuch went back to back to the region of Ethiopia and won that particular civilization. But when persecution comes against the church, we've got some promises to us. Matthew 5, I'm coming to a conclusion very quickly. Matthew chapter 5, verses 11 and 12. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad. Why? For great is your reward in heaven. If the devil wants to bring all of hell against us, can I tell you, we ought to throw our hands up and say, come on, is that what I got a God in heaven who's making me a home forever. I'm going to be at his side. I'm going to worship him for all of eternity. Matthew 10:22, you'll be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. And everyone, Matthew 19, and everyone that hath forsaken houses, brethren, sisters, father, mother, wife, children, lands, for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold. To do things right and well. But what if we just raised a little bit of money and just purchased a little foregone storefront? And it didn't look the coolest and it wasn't the hippest yet. And of course, we'd fix it up. We don't want it to be dangerous and have electrical wires dangling out the ceiling either. That's not the point. But what if our seed? You know, when it says they were scattered, that word scattered to me, I've got the connotation of something like, because